My brother Patrick recently started working at the local dirt track, and since I still didn't have use of my left arm, I decided to go over and see if I could put a video together. The track crew had been preparing the track all day, but I still arrived early before the cars so I could see some of the preparation that takes place. Since my roots are in dirt racing, and I've actually promoted a race, I know what goes into all this. It takes hours and hours of preparation to get a racetrack suitable to race on. While they were filling up the water trucks, Pat and I hit the track on the side-by-side to search for any foreign objects, anything that might fly up and hit a driver or flatten a tire.
Racetrack play I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah?
I'm afraid if it rains, we would never get any logs up. If you went down there in a hurry and stopped, you'd end up on your back.
What is that? What you got?
End of a bungee cord. That's a flat tire waiting to happen.
We finished clearing the track right about the time the water truck was ready to go back out and give the track a thorough soaking. Wetting the racetrack does more than just keep the dust down. It creates a tacky surface that the race cars can really get a hold of. After the water soaked in for a while, we jumped in Pat's Dodge Dually and hit the track to roll it in. Now I don't know if you've ever tried to drive on a saturated mix of red clay and black dirt, especially on an off-camber surface. Needless to say, it was a challenge. We were sideways around the entire track. Just keeping the truck up on the track where we wanted it required a tremendous amount of steering input. Pat was obviously having a good time with it, so I just hung out over in the passenger seat and enjoyed the ride. Even the water truck was struggling to keep it straight. After several laps, we finally had the track rolled in good enough where we could put some race cars on it for the heat races. It was about this time that I received a text from my wife. Apparently Life 360 had gone off after we'd finished packing the racetrack. She clicked on it and saw that I was on the track and assumed I was in a race car. Since we've had 4 surgeries in our household in the last month, with a 5th one scheduled, she was less than excited about the prospect of me being in a race car with a freshly repaired shoulder. While we were packing the track, cars began showing up, and I was watching them come through the gate. One in particular caught my eye. Like I said earlier, my roots were in dirt racing. The first one I remember, I was about 6 years old, and I remember old cars about this body style on the racetrack. I knew immediately I was going to have to go check this one out.
Levi Harris, Conway, Missouri.
That's a 56 Chevy?
Yep, 56 Chevy on a 79 Monty chassis.
Okay, and judging by the trim holes, that looks like a real 56 Chevy.
Yes, it is all OEM sheet metal.
That's awesome. That is awesome. What are you running for motor in it?
It has a 5.3 LS motor.
Really? Awesome, yeah. Awesome. What are you doing for transmission?
3-speed, just old school stuff. Because everybody had one, you could go get one, build one, and the days of cheap hot rod small block stuff is over.
Yes, it is. On my channel, I do a lot of turbo LS stuff. I'm big to the junkyard motors.
That's just carb swap, stock bottom end with a cam. I mean, it's absolutely nothing special. It's a budget motor.
Yeah, those absolutely should be where it's going.
It's the only way we can keep racing if you ain't rich. I've been a big block nut for years, and I still am. But to build anything old school, by the time you get done with machine work, you ain't even bought no parts. It's out there.
I had gone around and introduced myself to a lot of the drivers and handed out some stickers, letting them know that I was going to be videoing for a YouTube channel. You can imagine how pleased I was to see a lot of these guys putting these stickers on their race cars.
Yeah, it's pretty good right there. I tell people them stickers are worth 100 horse each.
I hope so.
Me too.
There's a bubble in there.
Now that the track was all set, racers began warming the cars up for the hot laps that were about to take place. Now that the track was ready, it was time for the drivers to pull out and turn in some hot laps. The track was still a little bit slick from all the moisture in it, but obviously this track draws some very skilled drivers. Now that hot laps were complete, it was time for the prayer of the national anthem. I was excited to see that Levi and his son Alcoa were chosen among the cars to come out and carry the flag.
These are veterans that are soldiers that are fighting overseas and leave their country at this time and everything that's going on. We just want to thank you for this great nation we live in and just ask that you watch over us here tonight and keep us safe and forgive us our sins. We pray. Amen.
After the prayer, it was time for the national anthem, and that always touches me. But you can bet it stirred something in my soul when at a certain point in the song, the wind picked up and started waving Old Glory for us. With the pre-race ceremonies complete, it was time to do some racing. I elected to stay in the infield to get some different angles on some of these cars during the heat races. With the car count up around 50 cars, obviously it was going to be an action-packed night of racing, so there's no way I could bring you all of this without this video being 4 hours long. So I'll bring you some highlights here, and I decided to kind of stay with Levi and his family. They had made the 2.5-hour drive down here from Conway, Missouri to race with us here, which, since Levi has the LS and his 56, it closed a lot of doors for it on tracks he can race at. But I certainly appreciate what he's done, because I believe this is the future of budget racing. With the hobby stock featured, it was time to see what Levi's LS powered 56 Chevy could do. In a really clean, caution-free race, Levi turned in a solid second-place performance. With the heat races complete, it was time for the folks in the tower to get the lineups right for the features. This also gave the racers time to do any maintenance, repairs, or adjustments that were necessary before the feature.
It ain't got no gas in it.
I've got a 580
Next, it was time for the hobby stock feature. Levi had his 56 in it, so I went down there and wished him luck, took my post up on the stand. It was apparent from early on that he had some kind of issue. Didn't know what it was, but he eventually gave up and pulled off the racetrack. I fell in behind Krager for the long walk down to see what had happened. It's always a long walk.
What happened?
Belt.
Belt?
No steering.
I saw it. I saw you get out of it down
Yeah,
there.
I had to. I thought it was going to hit the wall. I couldn't hold it.
Yeah, yeah. Some days you're the fire hydrant, some days you're the dog.
Most time I hit the hydrant.
That's why they call it racing and not winning.
Ain't that a fact?
All right, what's your nickname?
The mullet missile.
Mullet Missile. Yours is what?
LS Outlaw.
LS Outlaw.
He's Carrot Top.
With only one race between the hobby stock and the super stock races, Levi and his family had to hustle. Unfortunately, Alcoa had an accessory drive issue early on, so his race was over before it began. And Krager started tailback and quickly lived up to his nickname, the Mullet Missile, as he skillfully wove his way through the other drivers and began to open up the size of the lead. After a quick caution, they bunched the field back up, and the Mullet Missile was cleared for launch.
What's with the shifter?
It's broke. It came off when we got that caution.
That's why I smell clutch when you come around here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You made the trip down from Springfield with us tonight. I know during hot laps you lost your drive shaft, but you ended up coming back out and winning our feature race tonight. What do you think about the race?
Man, I love this track. Every time I've been here, I won my first race here. How many years ago now? 3 or 4. 3 or 4 years ago now. I love coming back. Somehow I always have issues. I have to thank Robinson in the 25 car. He got us a drive shaft that's actually 1.5 inches too short. But it worked, and here we are. So I gotta thank everybody on here. Well, not everybody. Not everybody. It ain't my rap. It's still the previous owners. Parents and sons, that's us. Thank you, Dad, Mom, everybody. My grandpa, he does a lot for us. We blew up 5 or 6 motors already at the beginning of this season, and he's made sure we have a motor to go racing. Got a tear in my eye. I gotta thank Mike Plant. He got us a great deal on the car. He's been really good to us. Donnie Miller, Ozark Mountain Logging. He's stood behind us for a couple of years now. He's a really good guy. Ralph Kohler. Yep. So if you get up north and you buy some property and need some trees cut, that's the guy to go to right there. I'll hand it back to you.
Give it up for Brandon Harris, your superstar feature racer, and extra $100 bill tonight.
My battery was getting low, and this fat boy was getting hungry, so I hit the concession stand and settled in to watch some late model racing. The dust hadn't settled from the late model race when I made my way down to tell Levi and his family goodbye and thank them for letting me follow them around. It was clean racing all night, fast racetrack, and I witnessed no drama at all. It's exciting to see a racetrack that has an increasing car count weekly. As we all know, racing is an endangered sport, and when you love it the way we do, you try to find a way. I think that way is the Junkyard LS motor or the Claimer wheel. I think that's the future. I think that's what's affordable. I want to thank everybody at North Central Arkansas Speedway for the great job on the track prep, running a really good operation, and giving me the access to make a video like this. I certainly appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time.